Okay, so wonderful good morning everyone. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Presenting before you this wonderful tutorial is Hampio Kliman, your mentor. To those of you that are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe, you also hit the like button, and also don't forget to share to others so that they might be able to learn with us. So I have a very interesting question which was sent to me in the comment system by one of the students that is learning from here. So this is an exam question, and it was saying, we solve the following trigonometric equation below for 0 less than x less than 360 without using a calculator. So we have been given 2 cos squared x minus sine x minus 1 equal to 0. Then B was saying we prove the identity cos 2 theta over cos theta plus sine theta. We prove that it is equal to cos theta minus sine theta. Let's get started. So we'll start with the first one. So we have 2 cosine x minus sine x minus 1 equal to 0. We know that there is a trig identity which states that cosine squared x plus sine squared x, this must be equivalent to 1, which simply means that if we make cosine squared x the subject, then we're going to remain with 1 minus sine squared x. Meaning we can replace what there is cosine squared x with this expression. So it's going to be 1 minus sine squared x minus sine x minus 1 equal to 0. Okay? Like that. From there, we can expand everything. So it's going to be 2 minus 2 sine squared x minus sine x minus 1 equal to 0. Like that. From here, this is just the same as negative 2 sine squared x minus sine x minus 1 plus 2 equal to 0. Then from here, this is just the same as negative 2 sine squared x minus sine x, then plus 2 equal to 0, right? So when you reach here, it now makes sense. You can use substitution method, where you say that you let sine x equal to y, so that you can have negative 2 y to the power 2 minus y plus 2 equal to 0. Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. You divide by negative 1 so that you can have a positive here and a positive here, a negative here, and a 0 here. Okay? So now we can find the sum and the product. The product, the sum. What is the product? To find the product, we simply multiply the coefficient of y to the power 2 with that last number, or the c factor, because we know that this is a, b, c. Okay, so we multiply the coefficient of y, which is the a factor, with the c factor. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by -1, and of course we get -2. The sum is simply the b factor, which is simply +1. We ask ourselves, what are the factors that we're going to remain with? What number can we multiply to give us -2, and if we add them, they give us +2? Of course, it's a 2 and -1. Because we know that -1 multiplied by 2 is -2. -1 plus 2 plus 2. Of course, we get a +1. So it holds. Therefore, we're going to have 2y to the power 2 plus 2 y minus 1 equal to 0. Like that. From there, we're going to have 2y factored out, y plus 1. We're going to have -1 factored out, y plus 1 equal to 0. Then from here, we can collect the factors. Of course, we're going to have 2y minus 1 and y plus 1. And of course, we're going to have 2y minus 1 equal to 0, y plus 1 equal to 0. So we can say that this is going to be 2y equal to 1 over 2 over 2, y is equal to 1 over 2. So even here, we're going to have y equal to -1. So since we said that we let sine x equal to y, we can replace everything back. So it's going to be sine x equal to 1 over 2 and sine x equal to -1. But then we know that this is just the same as x equal to sine inverse of 1 over 2. This is a common trigonometric calculation. We know that sine inverse of 0.5 is simply 30 degrees, which we can turn in radians. Okay, if you want, you can take it in radians. We take it in radians since we're dealing with trigonometry. So this, to take it in radians, we'll just say multiplied by pi over 3, that is 180. So this and that will go, and of course we're going to have that cancelled. This is 6, and therefore our first answer is gonna be pi radian over 6. Okay, and of course this answer holds because we know that it is in between 0 and 360. We get to the second one. So for the second part, we had sine x equal to -1. Sine x equal to -1. Of course, for this one, what we're going to do is this. We know that this is just the same as x equal to sine of -1. Please, this negative doesn't mean that the number is negative. It simply means that it's in a negative quadrant. So of course we know that our answer here is simply 30 degrees. But we have to subtract this 30 degrees from 180. So if we subtract from 180, we're going to get a 150. Okay, 150. If we subtract from 150, if we subtract this from 150, sorry, from 180, okay, this must be subtracted from 180 because we know that it's in a quadrant where sign is negative. And of course, a quadrant where sign is negative, it is simply where you are subtracting 180 minus this 30. And of course, it's going to give you 150. So you convert this in radians. We are going to have this and this cancelled. And of course, you're going to have in here, 3 in here, it is 5. 3 in here is 6. So we're going to have 5/6 radians. So you can continue using the same method. You still find the same answer. And you might also find another answer, which if you solve thoroughly, you find that you use the same formula, use the 30-60 triangle, you might find another answer to which I'm going to give you as an homework so that you send it to me on my WhatsApp line. All right, let's get to prove the second part. Okay, so the second part, let's say this is B. So B was saying that we prove the identity cosine 2 theta over cosine theta plus sine theta, that this is equal to cosine theta minus sine theta. There are trig identities that, of course, you must know, so I'm going to give them to you. Let me do this. The first trig identity, here they just want you to use a trig identity, that's all. If you know the trig identity, you will solve this question the simple way. So this cosine 2 theta has got a trig identity. Let me bring them down for you. The first trig identity is that cosine 2 theta is equal to cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. The second trig identity is that cosine 2 theta can also be written as 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. You must be able to know this. The third one is that cosine 2 theta can also be written as 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. So I have these trig identities with me. So you must be able to know them. And cosine 2 theta is equal to 1 minus, so this is tan x over 1 plus tan squared x. So they are just simple, they are very simple to master, but the better that you know them. Now, knowing these trig identities, we know that this is the same as this, so we can replace where there is this with that. So we can have something like, so I'm going to use the first trig identity. It's going to be easy. This one. The first trig identity. So it's saying that this is the same as cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. And this is all over by cosine theta plus sine theta. But then we know that this, if you divide this into this, okay, if you divide everything into this, you discover that only the sign is going to be negative, but everything is going to reduce by 1. So you are going to have something like cosine theta minus sine theta. Okay? Like that. You're going to have something like this. So here they just wanted you to just show them if you know the trig identity. If you know the trig identity, then of course you'll be able to show. Okay? You'll be able to prove this. So this is how simple this question was. Hope you have learned something. To those of you that have questions, make sure that you make use of this WhatsApp line. Thank you so much.